When I was a student, I had to study a geography atlas called Edulite School Manchitra. And what amazed me was that my parents wouldn't recognize the nations I was naming because some of them were new or some of the ones they knew were no more. It has come to my mind that if you concentrate and look at maps from different periods and eras, you will find significant changes among these, and in that way, you can see the changes of the world in front of your eyes. Today, I'm going to show you some of these changes and how they have opened my eyes. We will go through countries, both past and present. So let's go. First things first, we see this map from 1858. Here we see many countries that do not exist now. In fact, most of them don't exist now. We can see Abyssinia. Abyssinia was visible in African maps from 1858 to a long time, like in 1915. And in this map of 1936, we see that part of it is conquered by the Italians. After that, that Italian part, Eritrea, and the mainland Ethiopia joined to become an independent and one Ethiopia. If you look at maps from 1961 to 74, 84, 90, you'll see that Ethiopia and Eritrea are all together. But if you go any further from 1993, you will see that Eritrea has declared independence and it's now a separate country, thus making Ethiopia a landlocked country. Back to the 1858 map. Here we see the Russian Empire, which was also visible in an atlas of 1914. But interestingly, in 1858, we see Alaska as Russian America, as in it was a colony of Russia. And in 1914, we can see that it has been given to the United States and now is a part of the Union. The Ottoman Empire in its last days could be seen in maps of 1858 and 1914. German Africa could be seen in the maps of 1914. And when you look at this map of 1936, most of the German territories have been conquered by the Portuguese. In this 1914 map, we can see the German Empire and the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and India, a colony of Great Britain, is now a fully established colony seen in 1858, 1914 and 36. We can see how the British and the French have teared down the continent of Africa for their own colonies. Meanwhile, from 1914 to 1936, you can see the Dutch East Indies, which is now known as Indonesia. Belgian Congo is also visible in some of the maps. We can also see the Great Qing or the Qing Dynasty Empire in the maps of 1858 and 1914. In 1936, we see some of China's territory has been annexed by Japan. In the 1950 map, we see China, but with Tibet as an official country. But from 1961, you see that China has fully occupied Tibet. After the breakup of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, Yugoslavia was one of its successors. In 1922, 61, 76 and 84, you can see that it covers a huge area in the Balkans of Europe. But in this map from 1995, you will see that some of its areas have declared independence and became sovereign countries. But now, if you look at a map, you will find no mention of Yugoslavia. You will see Bosnia-Herzegovina, Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, Kosovo, Montenegro, and Macedonia or Northern Macedonia. We also see the state of Czechoslovakia from 1922, 69, 75, 80. But if you look at a 1995 map, you will see it's gone. The state was broken up into Slovakia and the Czech Republic in 1993. Have you ever heard of the United Arab Republic? This was a union between Egypt and Syria that lasted for a very short time. So, in the map of 1961, we see both Egypt and Syria have the name of UAR under them. However, from 61 to 71, you will see only Egypt with the title of UAR, not Syria. And from 71 onwards, there is no mention of the United Arab Republic. Now let's go to some newer and smaller states. Upper Volta can be seen in the maps of 1961, 74 and 80, but if you look at a map from 1990, you will see it has become Burkina Faso. Portuguese Guinea was visible in maps like 1961 and 74, but from 75 onwards, it became Guinea-Bissau. Dahomey was visible on the maps of 61, 69 and 76, but from 80 onwards, you will find there a country called Benin. In 1961, we see this huge area known as Rhodesia and Nyasaland. But if you look at a map from 2 or 3 years later, you will see northern Rhodesia has turned into Zambia, Nyasaland has turned into Malawi, and southern Rhodesia is called Rhodesia. Rhodesia was seen in the maps of 61, 69, 76 and 84, but after that it has turned into Zimbabwe. In just 8 years, Bechuanaland has turned into Botswana, and Southwest Africa was visible from 69 to 80, but then we see Namibia from 1990 onwards. Basutoland has turned to Lesotho, and Tanganyika has become Tanzania. There are a lot of maps with Vietnam being referred to as South Vietnam and North Vietnam. But nowadays you will see simply Vietnam. For 5 years only, from 70 to 75, Cambodia was known as the Khmer Republic. And in this map of 75, you will see Cambodia's name as the Khmer Republic. From the maps of 61 to 84, you will see the People's Democratic Republic of Yemen and Yemen Arab Republic as two separate countries. But they were unified, and that could be seen in maps from 1990. Another important fact is that up to 76, you will see a state in the Latin America known as British Honduras. But from 76, you will see it is called Belize. Another point in this 1990 map, you will see several small states inside of South Africa that are granted somewhat independence. These include Bophuthatswana, Transkei, Ciskei, and Venda. It seems these native states were independent for a very short time. There are several other changes that have occurred in recent times, like Sudan has broken into North and South Sudan, Swaziland has turned its name to Eswatini, and so on. But from this detailed study of maps, I'm sure you get the idea. If we look at these maps, we understand how our world changes and how fluid the concept of a state is. Thank you.